I'm good. So we'll call the meeting to order at 7:02 p.m.
Hold on.
Oh,
Maybe I'm good.
gotcha.
Oh, it's recording already. Yeah, cool. We're good.
Oh, then we're good.
Alrighty.
All right. Do you have the agenda in front of you, Tim? Because I actually don't have it up yet. So,
Yes, I did.
all right. I'll let you kick off for us then.
I did have it. I'm just gonna move Christina over. First one was to welcome her to the team, and then
Awesome.
she's gonna give a update on programs.
Cool.
And there she is.
Hey.
So official welcome to Christina. She's been with us already 2.5, going on 3 weeks, I believe it is. Diving in head first, 4 weeks. Yep, feels like it. Diving in head first with everything, as you're going to hear, kind of where we're at already. She came in as the perfect time as we were opening up registrations and getting summer ready and spring going and everything in between. So I'll turn it over to her to give you an update on where we are.
Great. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, as Tim mentioned, diving right into things. So I wanted to kind of give an update on some of the current programs that we have going on with the spring and summer registrations now open. There's a lot of great variety and diversity in the spring programs, from favorites like Try to Your Track and Pickleball to Safe at Home. We have some new stuff going on, which is really exciting, with some community partnerships. And I think that it is being well received by the town. Some of the summer leagues are starting to pick up as well, men's and women's softball. And outdoor pickleball is going to be really great to have on the schedule, getting people back outdoors. Summer registration for our summer program went live on Saturday for Southborough residents, and we're starting to see those fill up. On Monday, registration became available for non-residents, so folks were able to get in to the Corderville, Fayetteville half day, as well as CIT, if that is what they were looking for, depending on the age group. There are still some space available in certain weeks, which is something that we don't always see, but we're looking forward to having that filled out, as we have some really great new field trips and visiting vendor programs offered this summer. So a real robust program, and looking forward to finalizing some of those details with it. One of the new things I think that we have on our calendar is the Rec Connect, which is a partnership with Northborough, Southborough, and Shrewsbury for some community events for participants with special needs and having adaptive programs that is inclusive to all community members. This is something that we met with Northborough and Shrewsbury, it was last week, just to kind of fill out some of our calendar dates. Right now, Shrewsbury is running the Adaptive Gym Games. It's an 8-week program offering 4 different sports for a variety of age groups. There's a 6 to 14 and then a 15 plus group. They're seeing some familiar faces and learning some of those individuals in Southborough that Tim's familiar with on the rec side, join their groups and really kind of fill out that program. And we've got some really cool events coming up. There's a partnership with the Worcester Railers that is going down on March 27th. It is a sensory-friendly hockey game. Shrewsbury has opened up registration on their site that we are kind of funneling people to. The process is going to consist of registration and then kind of this interview process to make sure that we have an understanding of the individual's ability level and make sure that they're comfortable with the option that we're bringing as far as staff support. and that is now available for the 27th. We're working on an Apex bowling outing, which is going to be April 24th, which is going to include a couple of lanes of bowling, maybe some dinner, and that can be open up to individuals as well as family members if they're looking to have some additional support with them that evening. I was thrilled to hear about the sneaker prom. It's exactly as it sounds, as it should be. A great night that everyone kind of sports sneakers, and that is something that we will be partnering with them and hopefully have a role in sponsorship and promoting and helping round out their list of vendors of what they're able to bring in and offer the community members. That is going to be held in Shrewsbury. And then Tim very graciously offered a summer meetup for our summer concert series, kicking things off on July 10th. So it is going to be something that we are all working on as a community, programming out these accessible programs for individuals at a variety of ages, as well as their families, to participate and find their own community in the Burroughs area. It's a lot.
That's awesome.
I am super, super excited to hear about all of this. And I know it was a bit of a slow start, Tim, but it sounds like it's really kind of gained a lot of momentum.
Mhm.
So I'm sure in no short part to your onboarding as well, Christina. So I'm super excited and happy to hear about that. When you met with Shrewsbury and Northborough last week, were you able to garner like what participation levels are like? Are they getting the participation and signups that they had anticipated, more, less? Can you give any
I'll
feedback
grab
on
that,
that?
Christina. Yeah, so I know with the adaptive sports, it's a strong showing. I know the classes aren't packed, but they're full enough where they're able to run each groups. Where there's a family science night coming up that Northborough is hosting in partnership as well. We maxed out our seats with Southborough, so I think we're sending 9 or 10 individuals and families over to that. Looks like they're going to be about 30 to 40 participants total with family members over there.
Wow,
Yep.
that's amazing.
So very excited about that. Worcester Rail has just opened up. I'm not sure registration wise. Shrewsbury is out in Colorado at a conference, so they're kind of in the dark this week. But we're getting traction slowly but surely, for sure. So fingers crossed it keeps building.
That's amazing. So it sounds like when these events are opening up, each town is allotted a certain number of participants.
Correct.
Okay.
We're just dividing it equally between the 3 towns. Yep.
That's awesome.
And you may have noticed we're now all on the same page. So when information goes out, we all go at the same time.
I like that. All right. Thank you. Nice job.
I just want to just piggyback on a few things and give Christina some credit that she's not giving herself. So she, when she came in, I purposely left summer blank. And so just at this point, we chatted today, and all of our themes are done for the entire summer. All of our field trips are booked for the entire summer. All of our new vendors and returning vendors are booked, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 over the course of 8 weeks. Our wrap programs are off and running with this session. I know she's planning next already. Concerts are all done, so that information is probably going to be going out soon, and she's already deep in hiring for the summer. So again, I just want to give kudos to her of really jumping in head first and making a pretty immediate impact. And I just think it's going to be a great spring and summer as we roll. Numbers wise, because I like the numbers. Up to this point last year, we had 655 registrations come in. This year we're at 839. So we're definitely seeing an increase, both with our summer program and then, as Christina said, some things that are going on simultaneously, kind of our specialty programs, the return of best soccer and stuff like that. But we're smashing our numbers from last year, so it's good to see more momentum still climbing year over year. So really, really happy on how registration's starting.
That's it. That's very exciting, especially given I wasn't sure what the impact of St. Mark's summer program was going to have on
Mhm.
our recreational programs. So it's nice to hear that we're actually exceeding what we had over last year, even with.
I think what we're seeing, and Christine and I have talked about this, I think what we're seeing is that St. Mark's is capturing the younger ages of camp.
Okay.
So our Fayetteville ages, that 4 to 6, 4 to 7 age, those numbers are lower than usual for us. And I know just by our relationships up there that they're completely sold out pretty much with that age range. So I think just with swim lessons offered and some of those perks that I think parents of younger kids are looking for, it makes it a little more attractive. But we flexed our registration accordingly because we kind of expected that. So we're taking more of our older camp, older side, and allocating more seats there. And that's one of our sessions just sold out yesterday, I think. So it's having an impact. We're not having to hold wait lists like we did right off the bat last year. So I think we're seeing being able to tap into some of the increases on the older side just as much as the younger. So we're in a good spot. Anything else program wise so we can cut Christina loose?
Thank you, Christina.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you guys are great.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to our easy meetings. So,
Awesome.
all right.
All right.
Thanks, Christina.
Have a good night.
Bye.
All right. So camp refund policy.
Camp refund policy. Yeah. So last year we approved a refund policy, a gradual refund policy based on when a cancellation and refund is requested. I was hoping we could just re-up a vote to approve that for this year, just making it kind of a yearly thing. There's no changes. I'm going to bring it up in front of me just so it's on the screen. There's no changes to the policy. Again, I just want to hopefully get a vote of re-support with that. So share screen. Done. Cool. So just going over it again, as always with our cancellation policy as it is, any cancellation that comes through request, we do a 10% surcharge to cover our expenses of processing on our end. But years ago, just for historical context, we were seeing a lot of individuals waiting to the last minute, canceling their enrollment, which was causing a little chaos on our end, filling seats and not being able to just because of the timeline. So we put a gradual cancellation fee policy to try to deter that. Last year did not. We had some last minute cancellations, but it was nowhere near the issue that we had prior. Every family upon registration receives this. They have to go through the screen and check off that they read it and they received it. So every family is in receipt of this upon registration. So hopefully no surprises if it gets to it, but we're keeping it the same when it comes to percentages. And again, just looking for a re-up, kind of an annual vote on this.
So I can make a motion to reapprove the Southborough summer refund policy for 2024.
Second.
Okay. So yeah, roll call vote. Hanson, yes.
Laval, yes.
Dumont, yes.
Shaner, yes.
Okay. So we're all set with that. What else? Okay, a vote for budget.
Yeah, so just because of Christina's onboarding and joining our department, our budget changed slightly. So Brian Ballantyne was just hoping for a vote to support of an alternative budget. Just the salary line went up slightly, just with Christina coming on board. So our new budget is now, just make sure I got the right one. Yeah, adjusted right there. So $179,023.
I make a motion to approve the adjusted budget and the amount that Tim just stated.
Second.
All right, so roll call vote. Hanson, yes.
Laval, yes.
Dumont, yes.
Shaner, yes.
All right. So all set on that one then. I think we had on here in case there are any CPA or CPC updates just going into the town meeting. I didn't know if there's
Yeah.
anything there, Kristen, or not. Okay.
Yeah, give me one sec. I'll give a quick roundup. I was on vacation for the last meeting, but I don't think I missed anything significant. It was more just administrative tasks. Can you hear me okay? And is background noise okay?
Yep.
Yeah. We hear you
Okay,
fine.
great. So we have attended several meetings. There was a period of time where we were slightly worried about the trails funding because they were going to take back the ARPA, but we worked through that. So now trails is good to go. They still have their ARPA funding as well as the CPC article. Long story short, everything that CPC recommended, the board also voted favorably for. Maybe a couple things worth noting. I think it was Article 50. There was an article sitting in there again, looking to automatically sweep affordable housing funds directly into not SHPC, the Affordable Housing Fund. They've taken that article off, agreeing that we all need to talk about it. Again, not a direct rec impact, but obviously anything having to do with the CPA funding, we need to keep an eye on. I mean, Al has been pretty vocal in saying that he would like to see that tax go away, whereas other members of the board would like to see that tax actually increase. So I think obviously given the recreation impact is something we just need to, stay on top of. Something that is also a topic right now with the Board of Selectmen is there's a Chapter 61 right of first refusal currently on Johnson land, which is 2 parcels of land on Northborough Road, right before it goes under 495. So kind of on your way to the high school. There was some debate at the last select board meeting that I listened to in terms of, is that a good opportunity for Southborough for affordable housing, open space? And the question naturally also has come up for recreation. Luckily, well, that's my personal opinion, I should say. In the meeting with the select board, they were going to just pass over these 2 parcels, but then Lisa Braccio actually said, no, shouldn't we take a deeper look and understand, again, options and possibilities? So that's where that has been left. Again, I don't know that rec has any specific interests in those 2 parcels of land, but we should probably, as part of this discussion, as part of this consideration, have that discussion at our next meeting. Is given the price of the 2 parcels, which can be broken up, do we or do we not see any future recreation purpose for those parcels? I think if we're going to go forward and they're going to be, taking a more formal approach to this, then I think it's something that we should consider. And
Kristen, if I can
that's it.
interrupt you on that too, I've already reached out to conservation because I was curious on the quality of the land, if it was actually buildable. So Melissa Danza said she would get back to me once they find out
Awesome.
a little more about the land itself.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
Did you say, Kristen, is this at the intersection of Northborough Road and Johnson Road? Is that or is it further down the road?
Yeah. Well, so you know where the one house is on Northborough Road?
Yes.
My impression is it's the parcel, if you're looking at the house from the road,
Yep.
my impression is it's the parcel to the left. And then if you were to cross Northborough Road, that parcel as well.
Oh, so both sides of Northborough Road?
Right, exactly.
Hmm.
And one of the suggestions that I kind of loved was, again, it's just like everything. Can we please understand the options before we make a decision whether or not to just refuse? Sorry, my own personal comment. I was a little upset that the board was just willing to say, okay, yep, we're going to pass over. Luckily, again, Lisa pointed out, shouldn't we just have a better understanding of what our options are? One option brought forward by, I think it was a citizen, and I don't remember his name, for example, was like, well, what if we made an offer to the seller to say, you know what, we can't afford to purchase like a parcel or both parcels, but would you consider taking off a portion of that and selling it to the town for a specified need? such as affordable housing, which is a very good question, and a fair question, as you know, property is less and less available, and we want to provide affordable housing. So if you haven't watched that town meeting, I'd recommend, excuse me, that select board meeting, I'd recommend going back. I'll have to get the exact date. Again, I mentioned it and Tim, I'm so glad to hear you're already in the loop. There, I mentioned that not only as citizens, but also as a rec commission, we're probably going to be asked, do we see any recreational use possible for that land?
Is it, just one more clarifying question, is it the house that was damaged in a fire?
I don't know that.
Because there's that house right on the corner, and there was definitely a fire, and I drive by every day to go to work, so I'm pretty sure if this is the spot. That house has just been disused for a while. I don't know.
Oh, I know what house you're talking about. It's funny, you know, I was actually thinking of the owners being the house directly on, is it Johnson there?
Yeah, there's a nicer house that
Yes.
the first, so the first one, and there's that land that's there, but then as you're coming down Johnson Road, it becomes Northborough Road, right?
Right,
And right on
right.
the corner is the house that's damaged.
Yeah, I know it. Yep.
And there's the plot of land that's behind that. And then there is a sort of like a triangle piece of land across the street from that house.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I didn't have time, unfortunately, because I was a little confused in the discussion of exactly what parcels we're talking about, but you can generally picture what
Yep.
we're talking about. But it's a good action, and I'm sure it's out there from the select board to get the actual plots.
It's a nice piece of land if
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
for either affordable housing and or like you could fit I
both.
think you could fit a field on there.
Yeah, and that, you know, that you're getting a little farther north of Neary and not north, I'm sorry, west of Neary and Trotter at that point. I mean, I
Yeah.
agree with you. And the location would be nice for affordable housing with the access to Route 9 right there. So
Yeah, but
Great.
you're at the end of the day, your point is spot on. Like we should be looking at it as opposed to dismissing it and then
Exactly.
evaluate. And so I 100% agree with you.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Next up, the Tricentennial Committee updates.
Oh, can I say?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Right now, you're cutting in and out. You were fine a minute ago.
Can you guys hear me now? No?
Yes.
I can.
I just got a thing that my internet connection was weak.
Yeah, your video is freezing on us, but
Yeah, you
now-
might want to, if you want to turn off the video just to get pick up
board
some
member
bandwidth.
ex officio.
That's my favorite excuse to turn off video during the day. I'm like, oh my,
Now?
you're good.
better now.
All right.
You should be back.
See, you all were frozen too. So my wife's on a meeting as well, just above me. So my guess is the internet is jammed. Tricentennial asked that we serve as ex officio members, Recreation Department, myself, just so that we are in the loop with everything and anything Tricentennial. I went and I met with them. I'm not sure if we had a meeting after that. And we discussed pretty heavily the crossover of what they're looking to do versus what we already do and how we can build upon our events like Summer Nights and Heritage Day and the things that we already do well and using Tricentennial as an excuse to make them even better with additional help and additional volunteer hours. So we're going to be looped in pretty heavily, it sounds like, moving forward into that committee to have a thumb and a pulse on what they're doing. And hopefully it can benefit us like we talked about.
I like that idea, like doubling down on things versus like, trying to add something new and get people to show up to it. So
yeah, they actually have an article on town meeting this year. I wrote it down. Article 42, looking for, it sounds like initial funding to get things off the ground, to apply towards events and promotions and stuff like that. So they're already rolling on it.
Cool. Alrighty.
And I was trying to talk, but apparently you guys didn't hear me for CPA. I just want to say that I signed the papers finally for Clander, so that's officially done and off the books, and anything that was left over was returned to that pot with CPA. So that one's signed and sealed and delivered, and
It's
finally
the
done.
end. It's the end of an era. Literally.
Like 7
We'll
years,
we'll
right?
frame that one.
Oh, thanks, Tim.
All right. Then next on the list we had if there's any updates from the 21 Highland Committee updates that you might have, Joanna.
I don't, but mainly because I wasn't able to attend the meeting. So yes. So I
Alright.
don't have any updates right now, but I will provide update at the next meeting.
Sure. Sounds good. So then we had on here a little bit more generically, like town meeting spring 2024 discussion. Did you have anything in particular, Tim, or just there so we could talk about
It
it?
was just a placeholder, just in case anything came through. The warrant is finalized and out, so just for all of you to know, we're on a few of them. So Article 15 revolves around the bond payment for 9/11, just to authorize that payment for this year. Article 19 is the Lundblad Engineer Fund transfer. Article 20 is the maintenance fund that we spoke about, the Rec Outdoor Facilities Maintenance Fund. And then there are citizen petitions, 44 to 46, revolving around Highland Street and I think blocking the sale or something of the nature. I haven't read through them completely. But we're on a few of them, but 15, 19, and 20 is the meat of it for the commission and myself.
And those are all being put on the floor by like select board or somebody else, right?
I believe so. I can tell you for sure in a second. Bring it up in front.
Definitely not us. I know that much.
I know at one point in the draft we were like co-listed. I just want to make sure that I feel like they should be moving all those to the floor. I just want to make sure.
Nope, you're right. Believe me, we re-reviewed the CPC funding articles because of a last minute change last year.
Yeah.
While you're looking at that, I annoyed Tim probably last week asking about babysitting, not to put it on rec, and he pointed out that Kinder Group has their Easter egg hunt that day. Understandably, it's the week before Easter. I get it. That's at 11 o'clock. So what? That lasts, we all been there, right? That's it's a chaotic 5-minute craziness, and then you do your pictures and what it's at best. If you do your pictures, we didn't. So the whole premise of moving it to Saturdays was to get younger people involved. So I don't want this to look like they don't care. So I'm not asking rec to do anything. And I mentioned this to Tim, but I haven't done it. I might reach out to a couple of the members I know and say, hey, is there some way we can coordinate an encouragement to go from the Easter egg hunt to town meeting? And I could get babysitters very easily. My daughter's at that age group, right? She's babysitting, her friends are all babysitting, so that I could pull that together in a day. I haven't taken any action. I'm not asking rec to do anything, but because we're talking about town meeting, I just wanted to throw that out there. Because in the past, rec did coordinate it, but again, we don't have the same facilities available to us, and so I understand why it's.
Is this at 10 o'clock on the 23rd?
Yeah, it is.
What?
Yep.
They moved up the time. Unfortunately, when we drafted that article, we must not have paid attention to time, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's straight through this year too. There's no break.
Yeah. So lesson learned in writing articles, I guess.
I actually got this question from a couple of moms as well, wondering if REC is going to be providing babysitting for the town meeting.
So we did last year. I'll just say, I guess why. So we were approached about it, but because of the plan of going straight through, the cafeteria is being used for food. And traditionally the cafeteria was used for overflow space. So now they had to move that to the gymnasium. So now the auditorium, the cafeteria, and the gymnasium, which have been all of our spots, are being used for town meetings. So we couldn't, we didn't have necessarily a space to hold babysitting on that.
But I can say this, if you guys have met a freshman girl recently, like if we're like, hey, because they all are trying to establish relationships, babysitting. If we're like, I feel like we can figure something out and relatively quickly, and it actually could be kind of cool. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause my video froze. It could actually be kind of a fun thing if you got all these older girls like trying to get. So you know, it's unrelated to REC. Taking it offline, I guess, that I do think there's an opportunity here to try to tie together the kinder group event to then spill into town meeting, which, you know, the important stuff doesn't come till a little later anyways, and, you know, connect some of the older girls with the younger girls. So again, I mentioned this to you as an FYI because I did ask Tim about it, but that's my intentions in not asking REC to do anything because their hands are tied because of the space reservations.
Cool.
What type of babysitter, like what type of individuals were hired last year for the babysitting?
We had some of our staff that we brought on for supervisory reasons, and then we reached out to Algonquin, National Honor Society, stuff like that, and we gathered a good amount of volunteers.
Got it. Okay.
And Johanna, my daughter and many of her friends got this certification through REC for babysitting, and so they're CPR certified, and so there's a good network of kids that have gone through REC for this, and I think if we want to rally as citizens and get something going, we probably could.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, thank you.
I did look at the article. I don't know if we concluded on this, but the article on Lundblad is jointly proposed.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And then, I just assume like through the logistics of it, they'll put it forward and not us. Okay. Cool. I
gotta get through this. It looks like we're asking for a new fire truck.
Yeah.
Whoa. Not cheap.
Yeah. Let's see. Actually, random question, but they technically let children into the room, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember a couple years ago the outdoor one. A couple years ago the outdoor one. I know that they tried to refuse me with my son, but like whatever, we went in anyway.
I don't remember ever seeing children in one of the auditoriums. I don't recall ever seeing children. That might be something.
I thought I dragged my kid last year and I can't remember, but I'm gonna have to drag one this year, so that's why I ask. But
yeah, I remember you seeing with one of your kids. So
hey, okay, Jen,
I did sneak one in once.
But we can also figure out something, Jen, between you and I if you need a kid.
Yeah, my younger one, I was like, you're gonna bring your Switch and you're gonna play video games all day long. So
Jen, we got him covered. Killing can take him.
All right. Awesome. So then, all right. So we've got nothing else on the agenda. Actually, so no. Well, it's not on here, but we need to approve meeting minutes really quick. I think, let me just double check. The only one we have is from January 22nd. Which I know I sent you guys a really long time ago. But if we're good to approve it, or else I can move it to next time if you guys want to go back and look at it again. Let me know what you want to do.
I would be good to approve it if
Me
you'll accept a
too.
motion to approve it.
Yep.
A second.
Okay. And second by Joanna. All right. So then roll call vote. Hanson, yes.
Laval, yes.
Dumont, yes.
Shaner, yes.
Awesome. So then I will make a motion to adjourn at 7:37.
Second.
Short and sweet.
Right.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I'm sitting here, I'm like, did my family leave me? They actually might have.
So roll call vote. Hanson, yes.
Laval, yes.
Dumont, yes.
Shaner, yes.
All right. Awesome.
Cool.
And
Thanks, guys.
then